Hey everyone, I'm Cara Santamaria. A week later, the excitement of Super Bowl Sunday is still in the air, especially in New York. But how many of us watching the game noticed the appearance of ex-Saints player Steve Gleason? You see, Steve's not just an NFL veteran. At the age of 34, he's also living with a debilitating disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS for short, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. But now, controversial new research coming out of Boston University suggests that he may not have ALS after all, but another motor neuron disorder with similar symptoms and a similarly bleak prognosis. Except this one has a clear cause: repeated blows to the head. Many researchers aren't convinced, but one thing they agree on is that the types of head injuries sustained during football games can lead to depression, changes in mood and behavior, memory loss, and even early dementia. So, when someone gets a concussion, what's actually happening to the brain? Technically, a concussion is a traumatic brain injury that causes transient changes in brain function. It can be mild or severe, and it can cause bleeding or swelling. With proper care, symptoms usually go away within weeks. But those who stay in the game after a concussion are at a high risk for second impact syndrome, which can result in lasting brain damage or death. When it comes down to it, it's the damage to individual brain cells, called neurons, that cause the real problem. See, when a brain cell is injured, its membrane, the sac surrounding it, can be breached, causing all sorts of complications. When the cell bodies rupture, their contents can leak out, creating a toxic environment for neighboring cells. Also, head in motion collisions can cause the cell's axons to stretch and break, causing diffuse injury to the tracts that help one area of the brain communicate with another. A specific type of trauma common in sports and automobile accidents is known as a coup-contra coup injury. We don't think about it, but the brain isn't really tacked down very well to anything inside the skull. It's simple physics, really. An object in motion tends to stay in motion unless it's acted upon by an external force. Imagine that your helmeted head is traveling towards the helmeted head of another player. Boom, they collide. Although your skull may stop traveling through space, your brain will lag behind. Think of an egg yolk inside its shell. First, your brain will smash up against the front of your skull. Next, if it's traveling fast enough, the abrupt collision will cause it to bounce backward, banging against the back of the skull as well. So now, instead of one severe injury from a single impact, we have two. Since the 1920s, boxers have described getting punch drunk in the ring, feeling unsteady, slow, and mentally dazed. And hockey players, rugby players, pretty much any players of contact sports can recount similar experiences. We now know that these are signs of a concussion, but not everyone gets that dazed and confused feeling. And many young athletes who do, some as young as high school and even middle school, push through and play on anyway, hoping to prove themselves to their coaches and teammates. How will the science behind sports injuries change the way we play the game? What do you think? You can reach out to me on Twitter, Facebook, or leave your comments right here on the Huffington Post. Come on, talk nerdy to me.